What's up, you guys? Joe Clem 15 coming at you again. Here to give you my prediction on the Paul Williams and Sergio Martinez fight coming up in November, the rematch. Let's look back at their first fight. In the first round, both these men went down, and they went down on a result of their own weaknesses. Um, Sergio Martinez has balance issues because he doesn't have fundamental footwork. So when Paul Williams landed his left hand, he wasn't even hurt at all. He just was already backpedaling, was off balance. His weight had him tripped up. As for Paul Williams, who really was hurt by the knockdown, his biggest problem that I have with him is that he dropped his left hand. He is extremely vulnerable to right hands, whether it's from a southpaw or it's from a conventional fighter. If you look at his fight with Cintron landed some big right hands, all because Paul Williams keeps his left hand low. Or after he throws his left hand, he doesn't bring it up to his face fast enough. And that has to do with fundamentals and also because he has extremely long arms. So it takes longer for his arm to come back. As we continue to fight from the first round, Paul Williams is still recovering from his knockdown, from being knocked down in the first round. And Sergio is outboxing him and doing well until Paul Williams gets his bearings back together and starts to put more and more pressure on him. Paul Williams has tremendous stamina and a tremendous heart. Eventually, Sergio Martinez could not use ring generalship anymore because he himself lacks some fundamentals in terms of footwork, like I said before. So he had to stand there and exchange with this guy, and that's why we had an exciting fight. I don't know if this fight will follow the same profile. If when I think about it, I have to believe that Paul Williams is going to go back and look at the tape with his trainers and realize how many times he got hit with right hooks coming in, or going back, and make some kind of adjustment, even though he's not versatile at all. He only fights one way. I still have to, I just can't see somebody not making somewhat of an adjustment and doing a little bit better with that. And Sergio, he's probably not going to be as much really betrayed because, frankly, I think if that fight would have gone 2 more rounds, Paul Williams would have gotten him knocked out because Sergio faded. He can't keep up with that kind of punch output. Williams has probably the best stamina in the game. Doesn't get tired. Also has a great chin. So the only problem I have with that of Sergio trying to outbox Paul Williams is that Sergio Martinez also has he has those balance issues, and when he is trying to outbox somebody, that's oftentimes when they come in, he's backpedaling, trips over his own feet. If they lean on him, he's susceptible to go down, as you saw in the Pavlik fight. Pavlik didn't even really land a punch. Actually, make references to both fights. Both the knockdowns. The knockdown in the first round against Paul Williams, off balance. The knockdown against Pavlik, off of a baby uppercut thing that barely hit his face, fell down, off balance. So my question is, will Sergio Martinez be able to outbox Paul Williams for 12 rounds, staying away from him? Probably not. I think Paul Williams is going to force Sergio Martinez to exchange with him throughout the fight. I think it's going to be another very competitive, close fight. It's really hard for me to make a decision on who's going to win this. At first, I thought Paul Williams might get the knockout because, like I said before, if that fight would have gone 2 more rounds the first time, then Paul Williams would have gotten the knockout. But I think Sergio Martinez's stamina is a little bit better now than it was then. And not to mention, this fight's going to be at 157, I believe, and not 160 like the Pavlik fight. So, he's going to be theoretically a little bit more in shape. so he's not going to be as tired if he is trying to approach outboxing him, which I think he will. I think he's going to try to be more elusive. Then he's probably going to have a lower punch output. So I don't think stamina will always play the factor, but it won't be as, you could just tell Sergio was fading in the first fight. As for Paul Williams, man, he's somebody who is just so one-dimensional. He just, you can always count on him coming forward, throwing 100 punches around, and leaving himself wide open to be countered. And he himself too gets off balance, because all those lanky guys have wobbly legs sometimes, and they get themselves off balance, which is beneficial to a counterpuncher like Sergio Martinez. So, this is going to be, I think Martinez is going to be winning this fight, and then Paul Williams is going to start to win the latter rounds. And then in the championship rounds, I see Sergio landing the cleaner shots, the harder shots. And I think that Sergio is going to steal this one. I think it's going to be a split decision victory in his favor. I think he's going to be the new middleweight champion. You feel differently, let me know in the inbox. Rate this video if you feel like it. I hate asking people to, but I just figure since everybody else asked, I'll ask. But whatever. Share your opinions, man, and tell me what you think about this fight. It's gonna be a pretty exciting month. I mean, you got the Margarito and Pacquiao fight, this fight coming up, and then you have the Marquez and Katsides match coming up. November's gonna be pretty sick, so I'm looking forward to giving you guys my Devin Alexander and Bradley prediction. I'll come up with that one pretty soon, so stay tuned, y'all. Peace. Joe Clem 15 out.